Hello everyone and welcome to the first of two videos because there is simply too much to talk about on the JP side. So I am going to be recording this in two sets, FF14 event and banners and then banners will be in the second video. So if you're looking for the banner stuff, keep an eye out, the video will be up shortly. But if you're curious about the FF14 stuff, here we go. So we're going to talk about three things: the event, the characters, and the reward. So first of all, something to note with FF14 coming back is it's come back largely very much the same. However, Bingo also returned, giving you a potential chance at some extra lapis, as well as some summon tickets for the FF14 stuff, and even, hey, 40 Thancred shards. Thanks, Crid, for that. Shut up, it's not a very good joke. Anyway. Now, for people who are curious about it, FF14 is basically returned in the exact same shape it was at the beginning of the game, including the first two EX stages, which are very much the same. So if you were beaten down pretty badly by these in the past, guess what? You can get your revenge and feel much better when you destroy EX1 and EX2. However, there's also EX3, an additional stage that has been added to give something brand new to farm, as well as some extra rewards, which is, pretty nice, including this, a brand new piece of SSR/MR piece of equipment. This piece of equipment is an accessory. It has potentially shield or aim. It has some dexterity to it. It has some HP to it. Overall, not a bad piece of equipment. Nothing overly incredible, but hey, always having some more accessories is kind of nice. I don't have it super developed yet, so I can't offer a ton of options. I will say that EX3 is more difficult than the previous stages, thankfully. It does have some status effects, but nothing overly harmful, and I will say that my team faces pretty much zero danger from it, so I think it's generally fine. Continuing on, we'll take a look at the Mog Shop to see what is available there. So first of all, from the FF14 event, one thing you'll notice is that 400 Ishii shards are available in case you didn't finish before. Recipes for both the Lionheart as well as the brand new glove. All of the equipment, another Rainbow Rock, seals, skip tickets, all of that good stuff. Oh, I forgot about the skip tickets. I might need to buy that later. Ooh, and of course, as you can see, you can also get some more Thancred shards to potentially get your Thancred up to LB4 or potentially LB5. Now you're probably feeling a little bad if you spent just a ton of money to get him to LB5. C'est la vie, live and learn, as we say, correct? However, there's also another thing to note, which is to do with the characters. Both Ishii as well as Thancred have gotten some upgrades, basically. I guess that's the way I would put it. Both in terms of their master abilities and potentially in terms of their AI. So I'm going to start by talking more about Ishii. Ishii is a unit that, first of all, Y'shtola is just one of my favorite characters from Final Fantasy XIV. Just period. Read into that however you want. You're probably wrong. Anyway, she is actually just a great character, but in WOTV, she has kind of underperformed, mainly because she just doesn't seem that incredible overall. Her stats are pretty low. She's pretty squishy in a lot of fights. She's not the most amazing unit that you can get in the entire game, but she was free back in the day at the start of the game. Her master ability upgrade doesn't really do a lot to improve that. Taking a look at her master ability upgrade, the big thing that she basically gets is defense penetration resistance, and that's about it. Unfortunately, no HP boost, no magic boost, or anything like that. Basically kind of puts Y'shtola in the same spot as she was before. But should note that Y'shtola is basically a free fire AoE damager, and that's potentially not bad in itself. So yeah, I'm going to basically classify this Y'shtola as still a potential level of usefulness that may be appreciated a little bit more, by the lack of fire units, tons of fire units that we have available in this game. Free to play, good option, and in general, I guess for a free unit, I guess this is what I should have expected in terms of getting an upgrade. Don't think that Ishii is bad per se, but I do think that the upgrade in terms of her master ability is pretty low. What is better though is her AI. Her AI has been generally improved to be a little bit smarter in terms of the abilities that she is using, and that makes Ishii more usable, especially as a farmer. She can do farm stuff because she does have good AoE attacks, and she is a capable unit. Not amazing, but capable. So yeah, not the biggest improvement, but there's some value there, to be sure. Continuing on, Thancred. Now, this is the one that I know a lot of people need to talk about. Thancred originally, when he came out, was kind of basically a tank. With the amount of HP he had and good attack, yeah, he was basically a tank-based unit. Now he gets an upgraded master ability. The upgrade that he gets is 100 extra attack points, 10% extra HP, and last but not least, reduction of blasting zone casting time. Overall, this basically paints the picture that they have shifted him completely away from being a tanking kind of unit to basically being DPS. It is okay. I'm not overly excited about this because I kind of appreciated him more as a tank and less than a DPS, or less as a DPS. There I guess I should say there haven't lately been a ton of good light UR options. So buffing Thancred is definitely not the worst thing. He is also potentially just to be seen as a free character, and you can get him for free. Get his shards and, you know, potentially get him up there, get a TMR off of it. None of this is really bad. But some of the key points are still missing. Would have been nice if he got a TMR. Gunbreaker in FF14 is more of a damage-based class, so that would have been generally nice to acknowledge more. But I got to admit, fixing Blasting Zone is a pretty darn nice thing to have. So I'm going to give Thancred as kind of a ooh in terms of the fact that, hey, they did improve a particular part of his kit that does make him more useful. It would have been nice to get this a little bit sooner during some of the more dark damage the enemies that required more light-based damage. But into the future, I'm sure he'll be usable enough. One of his strengths has always been he has a really high amount of HP that gives him leverage over other units to basically take a hit and then hit the enemy hard back. Blasting Zone, which was strong but had casting time, meaning the enemies could move, is no longer a problem, meaning that his DPS is much more solid, and just getting 100 extra attack points is nice. It pushes him more into being generally good. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give Thancred a really nice kind of approval. I think that not incredible, not amazing, but he is a light-based UR with a lot of HP and pretty darn good attack options now. Again, don't really fault it. I guess it would have taken a lot to kind of improve him back to being a tank, needing hate generation abilities, potentially starting levels of hate, and it just would have been another light UR limited time tank character that would not necessarily solve some of the problems that the game is currently facing, where basically it's Warrior of Light or Agrius as your tanks, and not exactly the easiest to get those characters. But yeah, it's nice to see FF14 return, even if not having a ton of new content. There is enough there, and it is enough of a celebration with the amount of free Lapis that we're getting. 5,000, I believe, from free logins, and quite a bit from the bingo board, as well as just, you know, achievements and everything. So yeah, I'm going to give Thancred a thumbs up in terms of his improvements. Just one, though, mainly because, again, I don't know, Gunbreaker, if you played FF14, you kind of get the tank thing. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'll be back in the next video, and trust me, there's exciting stuff about these new banners. Woo, baby. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.